me to stop. They want me to go. I'm already gone. Shit that I'm on. I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Hey, I'm already home. Now I'm on.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So basically, Bitcoin Cash has been up and down, up and down. Really not a surprise there. I mean, I don't see a big future for it. However, I'm not certain. And I think anytime there's going to be something with Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash is going to benefit. If anything, it'll just be used as another way to send money. I mean, like, if someone's having issues with Bitcoin or it's taking too long, you can just always send Bitcoin Cash at the dollar it is at that moment. So it's just I just think that it's always gonna piggyback. It just looks like it inherited this big market cap, which was also to be expected because obviously people are giving all these coins. So then so many people are giving these coins that it's going to create a big market cap. And the market cap for Bitcoin has just gone up. I mean, not by much, but basically good things. I mean, now we're starting to surge, right? Like if we would have fell below 100 and stayed there, that would have been, I mean, it would have been a terrible sign. But right now is when the dust is settling and more people are starting to get in. This is going to, you got to keep in mind, the Bitcoin fiascos set us back a little bit. We were able to get some good deals as traders, but at the overall overwhelming goal is to create mass adoption for these cryptos. That's what will take us to the next level. That's when you go from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, people are tripping at Bitcoins this much. Like, that's not that much, guys. Like, really, it should be in the hundreds of thousands right now. With how many people are on the planet, how much of a problem it solves. This thing should just be skyrocketing. But, there's always going to be something. And it just goes to show you how powerful Bitcoin is, because Litecoin and Dash, nobody even really, they didn't gain. They all lost during this, It just goes to show you that people really don't care about another form of payment right now. People really want to see if Bitcoin's going to make it or not. That's basically, crypto is Bitcoin. So, I mean, like, at this moment, when it comes to mass adoption, there was just so much, and they say bad publicity is good publicity, or any publicity is good publicity. So, I mean, the Bitcoin fiasco caused a lot of publicity. A lot more people heard about it, a lot more coverage on it. So many views on YouTube during August 1st. So, basically, it helped push us out there more. Now, the spotlight's on Bitcoin, so it really needs to come through with SegWit and Bitcoin Cash. We're going to see what happens. The thing about it is it's going to shine right now because it's not going to have as many transactions as Bitcoin when it comes, like, down the road. After all these, people figure out what they're going to do with it, it's not going to have as many. It's going to have a lot bigger block size. And it's not going to have as many transactions, not as much congestion. So you never know. You might hear something or someone, like, basically a lot of merchants might start jumping on it sooner than later. It's quite crazy. The only thing is, I believe, like, people are demonizing it. Look, you can have centralized money and you can have decentralized money. It's that simple. People who want to choose the centralized version can do that. I'm not saying Bitcoin Cash is centralized, but it's a lot more centralized than Bitcoin is, in my opinion. I don't care what anyone thinks. So that's my personal opinion. And as an investor, it's not like I'm going to be so biased. It's not like Bitcoin Cash is killing baby whales. I'm not pro Bitcoin Cash at all. I don't like centralization of money. But at the same time, basically, I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. We woke up one day and Bitcoin Cash is here. So best to just get over it and move on. So a weird thing with BitConnect, had like the saggy ball sack effect and then came right back. Nobody else did that, so that was weird. While everything else was going up, it plummeted, which I thought was very interesting. I want to touch on something basically, people. So I see a lot of people who invest and they really don't understand. So there's some coins that are going to be good for humankind, but they're not great investments. And then there's going to be some investments that are really, really great investments, and you might overlook them. And what I mean by that is, okay, so like, what's a thing I wouldn't want to invest in? Let's just see. What was that one? Let's just go with Redcoin. Okay, so what is the purpose of Redcoin? Although I don't think this is it. Yeah, that's more like it. All right, so what's the purpose of Redcoin? Now, it's a tipping coin. So as an investor, why would you want to invest in something that's used for giving tips? If Redcoin hit $10, do you think people would really be tipping with Redcoin? They'd be keeping them, right? Because Red coins don't have fractions. You're not breaking off half a Red coin to tip somebody. It's meant, if you read actually what the community, what it's about, it's meant people want to be able to tip big amounts, right? They want to be able to tip thousands of coins. So the coins can't be worth that much. You know, nobody wants to look poor and be like, well, I'll tip you 0.1 of a red coin. You know, that's not what it wants. People want to be able to shower, and 1,000 red coins is not shit, but right, it sounds baller and it's fun. People like doing it. That means the coin's meant to be cheap. The coin's not meant to be $10. But yet, you have people investing in red coin as an investment. This is good for the community. Redcoin, it's good because you can tip people on Twitter and all that. It's getting people into crypto that never would have got into it before. It's a good thing. It's not a good investment if you're talking about making money. It doesn't make sense, right? There's so many other, not that, I'm sorry, Redcoin, I don't mean to hate on you. I'm just saying, like, it's just, there's a lot of coins like that that are not meant to be really, really expensive. That doesn't go well with the coin. A coin that is meant to be really expensive, something like Bitcoin, obviously. Some more unorthodox coins, something like Vertasium, right? Why is Vertasium meant to be expensive? Because they actually have a way of renting out your Vertasium in the near future. So you can rent it out. So if a coin is meant to be rented out, does that mean it's supposed to be cheap? Are you renting out $10 coins? That doesn't make sense, right? No, you rent out a $500, $1,000 coin. You rent out something that's not, people don't feel like buying. They want to just rent it and give it back because it's so expensive. That's why I make investments. Like, it's very obvious what coin. Okay, so a sleeper coin people don't really know of would be No Limit Coin. Why would No Limit Coin be something that's worth to be expensive? Because it's entertainment, but you would think, well, it's fantasy football. Wouldn't it meant to be cheap? No, actually. So people keep pegging this to like a dollar value. Just saying, oh, I can't wait till it reaches $1. You don't understand. No Limit Coin is a hub. Is a hub for fantasy sports. So when you throw in all your currency, when you come to the game and you want to spend Bitcoin or you want to spend USD or whatever the hell you want to buy the coin with, you convert that into one fantasy coin that's meant to run all leagues. This coin is meant to be fractionized. It's meant to be 0.1, 0.5. This coin is meant to be expensive because there's only 200 million of them, yet you're going to have multiple leagues running simultaneously in an industry that's over $100 billion. The fantasy sports industry alone is bigger than the entire crypto market. Coins like this can take off rapidly because it hasn't, once the platform actually launches August 11th, you're going to have crypto fantasy soccer in places where, first of all, you never had crypto fantasy, and second of all, you never had fantasy soccer in a way that no one's ever seen it, in a cool, aggressive, energetic company. You know, it's not some lame-ass company. No Limit Coin has a big community. We got a lot going for it. A bunch of gangsters. So that's one of the things is coins that are meant to be stretched, meant to be expensive. You know, I look at no limit coin as a $50 coin. People might think that's a lot, but it's not. And people want to do the math. Oh, that's 200 million times 50. That's way too much. No, 200 million. First of all, a large chunk is always locked up by the game to make the game run. Second of all, there's a large supply of holders. So you're talking about half of it might be in circulation. Half of it maybe, right? Because there's another thing. There's another holders. And you know who those are? Those are the people who actually play the fantasy game. Those are the people who actually need a bankroll to keep playing. So you're always going to have a bunch. So you have some locked up by the game by force, by No Limit Coin to keep the game running. And then you also have people who are holding because they have to play the game. So a natural form of holding. So the coin is meant to be held because you need it to play these games. And if fantasy sports is one of the biggest new things out there. Fantasy sports is relatively new, especially the weekly duels, the daily duels. Those are relatively new. So when you're talking about introducing something new to new games across the world, cricket's huge. I mean, it's just the upside is so big, and you can really see what you can do in crypto when you have a community going. So I'm really, really excited to see what happens, because that is a coin that's meant to be $50. It's meant to be a hub to absorb all of the money, all the currencies coming into one pure fantasy currency, right? You can't have Bitcoin buy-ins and Ethereum buy-ins and Litecoin buy-ins. And yeah, you can say, well, why don't you just have everybody converted to Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin's slow. Same with Ethereum. You never know when Ethereum's going to have too many ICO congestions. Like when you're running a fantasy league and you have tens upon hundreds of thousands of players simultaneously playing all the time, you can't have a currency like Bitcoin that can just fork off whenever the fuck it wants, or can have slow transactions. That could literally kill the game if the transactions aren't fast enough. If somebody wants in the game, they got to get it instantly, right? We can't have somebody get coin and then it takes 30 minutes for them to get it, or an hour for them to get it. The same with Ethereum and the gas prices. You might not set your gas high enough, or there might be some crazy ICO or some kind of bullshit causing congestion. We can't have all that, right? And then what do you say? Litecoin? Well, no, because that's just like an odd altcoin. Like to say, oh, we're a Litecoin only league. That's weird and no one likes that. So basically, we're like, we need a coin that is very, very, very fast. If you've ever used No Limit Coin, you know how lightning fast it is. And it's built purely for fantasy sports, meaning that's what it has around it. We kept that in mind. You know, the founders kept that in mind when they made the coin. So it's a perfect hub to absorb and get all that. Plus, you get the staking, which is invaluable in my opinion, which also creates more holders. People love masternodes. You know what? I love staking because it's daily compound interest. You're getting these stakes very fast. You know, me, I get them like every couple of minutes because I have so many coins. And the more coins you have, the faster you get them. But yeah, it's very nice to have that daily compounding interest. So that's the big thing. You're looking at coins that are meant to be expensive, and then you stay away from the coins that really aren't going to be that expensive. VibeHub is, so on the 6th, they're going to, so in 3 days, right before a day before, they're going to have the beta open, which is absolutely massive. I can't wait for this. So speaking of coins that are meant to be expensive. So first of all, I really, really, really like the idea behind this, of where it can go, because people are getting immersed into the internet. They're becoming, Facebook has become a part of people's lives now. It's like as much of them as they breathe, right? Like, Facebook has become entrenched into people's lives, and people really miss each other. Imagine if you're a soldier at home, or you're a soldier away, and you want to see your family, you want to see your daughter. Imagine, like me, I want to see my mom, and I can only, FaceTime. FaceTime is good, but it's not that next level. And to be able to actually take the steps where you have augmented reality, virtual reality, where you can actually see the person right in front of you, go into different worlds with that person. People are going to take this, and it's going to be so amazing. It's like you're going to have your own personalized hub. You can go to other people's hubs. You can travel the universe if you want. I'm talking like imagination unleashed, and there's a lot of money in fucking imagination. You understand? Because Pixar, look at that shit. Look at Disney. Look at the multi-billion-dollar industries when it comes to just imagination, right? We can't really put that number on VR because it's so new. However, if you listen to anybody who's made a lot of money and knows what the fuck they're talking about. Let's go down the list. Gary V. He thinks VR, augmented reality, is absolutely the biggest next thing. Mark Cuban absolutely is investing heavily into virtual reality, augmented reality. The list goes on and on about people who are very, very big on virtual reality, augmented reality. A lot of Forbes articles coming out. A lot of people are starting to realize it's going to be just like the cell phone. You remember the flip phones? They didn't last long, did they? They didn't. Before you know it, you had iPhones, right? And then remember the first iPhone and how quickly we got to where we are now with all the apps and all the crazy shit? Just take a step back. Do you realize Snapchat's $1 billion company? All it is a communication platform. It's all the fuck it is. That's what VibeHub is, but it's a virtual reality one. So it's going to shit on all of those. That's what's huge. Like, people who are overlooking virtual reality right now are going to be kicking themselves. Because first of all, this is a badass setup. But to be honest, most virtual reality apps right now are going to blow up and succeed. Why do I think that? Because there's going to be a VR boom. There's going to be a FOMO. There's going to be people throwing billions and billions of dollars into the industry. Blockchain and VR are coming at each other like a fucking two unmovable objects. And they're going to collide, and it's going to cause a big wave. Because everyone knows blockchain's taking over. Everyone knows each industry is becoming revolutionized. And if you're smart, you can sit back and pick out the industries that will best serve being upgraded by blockchain and invest heavily in those and avoid the ones that are like, Same with virtual reality. Holy fuck shit. You get both of them. You get the fucking, the blockchain hype and the virtual reality hype all in one. I'm in heavy communication with the CEOs. They really got their heads on straight. They're fucking hustlers. But the point is, they hit the nail on the head with the use case with the time to launch something like this is right now. You don't want to wait until it hits and it booms. Then you want to launch. You want to be there right before it launches. And that's what's about to happen. VR, augmented reality, 2 years from now, mainstream. The shit you have now is bullshit. The little things like, you have the Oculus Rift and you have all of these nice, but they're going to become more and more. You're going to have contact lenses before too long. Go do your research. You're going to have like simple glasses that are going to be able to unlock the full power of virtual and augmented reality in ways that super expensive VR, that's the problem. It was super expensive and now it's not. Remember when computers used to be super expensive? No one could afford a home computer because it was like fucking way too expensive, and there was like supercomputers out there. And then, remember you had to be a baller to have a flat screen monitor. Remember that? Oh wow, you have a touch screen phone? You must be super rich. Do you remember that? Of course you do, because it happened so fast. That's what's happening now. You used to be able to have to be super rich to get virtual reality equipment. Now it's going to be in the palm of your hand and anybody's going to fucking have it. It's going to be coming to you with your fucking Burger King Happy Meal. I'm telling you, VibeHub is absolutely, virtual reality apps right now are by far my biggest, what I want. I really want to get into the virtual reality scene, and I'm going to be buying into almost every virtual reality ICO. But what I really like with this one is the fact that it's a hub. It's a place to chill. It's like it draws you in to use your imagination. To people can trick it out, and you're gonna just have what that is gonna do when you give people something new, cool, and revolutionary, and then you say, "Oh yeah, use your imagination." That's when you have magic. And that's what's going to happen with here. Not to mention you can monetize shit. You can fucking sell, you can sell virtual goods, virtual assets. The virtual asset world is going to be so huge. If you already looked at I remember when video games first came out with the pay to play, and you could buy weapons, and people are like, "Oh, I'm not paying for some fucking weapon." Dude, I was looking on an article the other day. Some dude spent like $5,000 on a mystical fucking sword for a video game. $5,000 large for a motherfucking sword. That's where we're heading. Virtual assets are going to be as as big as real estate. It's going to be as important as real world assets. Virtual assets are going to be just as big. To be able to have somebody come in and remake your hub and make it look super badass, or buy badass virtual assets, that's going to be, you know, that's the future. And people may not see it right now, but as it starts to happen, it's going to sweep them from under them, and then they're going to realize, oh shit. Yeah, virtual reality assets are the way of the future, because yeah, if you think of the real world, if people are like, oh, I'm in the real world, dude, all you are is looking out of your eyeballs, aka a computer. What's the fucking difference between real world and virtual reality when it comes down to it, actual to your senses? It's very close, and people are looking for more and more of escape every day, and to be able to unlock the brain in ways where it's like we're limited by our body. But in virtual reality, we can touch all scopes of the universe with our imagination and be immersed in crazy lifelike detail. Not to mention VibeHub, you know, I'm not going to say anything right now. I'm not supposed to, but they're going to be in the talks with a big celeb to come on. I think that's going to be fucking awesome. That won't take much. Look at what Mayweather did for that Stokes ICO. Like, any celebrity right now that mentions something about anything, people just go and buy it up. So this is going to be a perfect hailstorm, in my opinion, when you're talking about VR, virtual reality. So this one's coming out soon. So just look it up, see what you like. You're going to actually have a workable platform before the ICO, which it's hard to ask for anything more than that. Also, MyBit is very good because right after the ICO, they've already locked up articles with Forbes and a bunch of the big names. They're getting a bunch of big publicity in September, early September, mid-September, which is going to create people who overlook the ICO. They're going to hear Forbes, renewable energy, IoT device monetization. They're going to hear MyBit, and they're going to have that fear of missing out, and they're going to be like, holy shit, how did I overlook this? And then that's going to fucking really hit the prices, really cause a massive jump, in my opinion. So we are just fucking set up to fucking win. The market cap is looking good. We're doing good, guys. I haven't even been trading in a long time. I haven't set a damn lure in a while. I have just been spearfishing. If I do set a lure, it's not deep. It's one that I know I'm going to hit. I'm not trying to make a big catch, just because right now I think I'm not looking to sell, because I think we're on the verge of the next boom. I don't want to sell something and then it go up 4 or 5, 10x, right? We don't know where the market cap's going to go from here. Do you realize it was 60 billion a couple weeks ago? Not long ago at all. Do you remember that? Like, it could go to 140. Better believe it. Not all of this is the same money. It's impossible. New people got in because of the Bitcoin Cash, if anything. There was people who got into Bitcoin just because they heard they're going to get 2 Bitcoins. They're like, well, I've always kind of wanted to get into Bitcoin. I might as well get in now to get my free Bitcoin. You don't understand. That's fucking huge. That happened. I know people that did that. Like, it's real. That happened. People were like, I want free Bitcoin. People who are on the ropes. So, I mean, as much as you want to hate on Bitcoin Cash, look at the price of Bitcoin. It's not going, it hasn't tanked that much. If anything, it's right back where it was. And, market cap, Bitcoin Cash is here. You got to be an alchemist. You got to make the best of every situation. You can't just take the bad and let that sit. Fucking Pillar. I don't know what happened. Did the owners of Pillar beat a baby on public television? Did they backhand a baby seal? What happened? What happened with Pillar? It's like half the price, less than half the price. It's 0.005. It was 0.0005 Ether. And I was telling people, hey, watch out. Any fucking ICO in July, you're going to be able to get it for cheaper. I said that over and over again. So, I feel kind of bad for people who did invest in Pillar, but what can you do, I'm happy because I went and scooped some up for half price. And so, yeah, I got my Pillar. I believe in Pillar. I think it's an awesome project. I want a super badass wallet. I wanted to do something like that my damn self. But, yeah. Also, quick note, when XP gets back, as you know, he helps me He's a gangster. He helps me handle daily operations. Right now, he's on vacation though, till the 11th. When the 11th, big news. The Steemit bot, right? If you have a Steemit account, you want hundreds of upvotes. Join the Steemit Slack, the Steemit Guild Slack. I'm gonna put that in the comments. Right now, we're not using Streamium. What happened is XP actually built his own custom bot because we needed something better. And it's perfected. It's going to be done around the 11th. So you go ahead and join the Slack, throw your name in the hat, get in there. We're going to be able to have like 500 people. So it's going to be very, very lucrative. If you can imagine getting 500 upvotes every single day on Steam. That's going to be amazing. Not sure how long that's going to be able to last, because it seems like it's just going to fucking print thousands and thousands of dollars a week for free. So it's going to be very nice. The guild, go ahead and get familiar with the guild rules. Things like you have to power up and all that stuff. We want to build a really gang buster squad. Also, you can always contact me in the No Limits Slack. Look, guys, I'm a holder of No Limits coin for life. You know why? Because I created the No Limits Slack, and that has become like my virtual hub, if you will, my little home. I go there, I talk trade. Got a bunch of virtual friends. They're real people, but we met each other online. A bunch of smart people, and it's just a fun place to go. And I'd always learn something new in the trading, hashtag trading. I swear to God, you get more out of the No Limit Coin 2 trading, hashtag trading room than you do paying for most of the shit that you buy for if you're talking about trying to get crypto analysis or whatever. There is not a better place on the fucking internet if you want to talk trade than a No Limit Coin 2 Slack trading group. And if there fucking is, I dare anybody to link it in the fucking comments and see. Because right now, you go into that trading room, you're going to get hot ICOs. You're going to get really good coins. How did I know about the Vertasium dip? No Limit Coin 2 hashtag trading rooms. I got in there and I was buying Vertasium at 0.5. I didn't know there was a theft, but guess what? The trading room's always popping. Every time there's something happens, somebody knows about it. It's just how it is. We got a bunch of ninjas in there. And they always share, always sharing. I'm always in there giving picks. I'm in there giving picks before I even throw it on YouTube. Just because I like to show them love. So, no matter what happens, I don't give a fuck. I'm always going to be holding some amount of No Limit Coin, right? Like, no matter what, even when it hits $50 and I think it's maxed out and I'm like, okay, it's time to, take some cash out. I'm always going to be having some No Limit Coin, just because what happens if I sell on my No Limit Coin? Then the No Limit Coin Slack becomes a curse, right? Because then I go in there and I see all the happiness and all the cheering for No Limit Coin and I'm not a part of it. Like, why would I do that to myself? It's fucking terrible. That makes me depressed to even think about. I would never do that to myself. So always catch me in the No Limit Slack. Yeah, I don't care if it's not a No Limit Coin related question. If you want to get to me the quickest, that's where I conduct my business. If you think of it, it's like a mansion. You go knock on the door and then you come in and then you can speak to me whenever you want. You can speak to the crew. It's a nice little. I'm excited about VibeHub. I don't know. I'm gonna have one of the best motherfucking hubs anybody's ever motherfucking seen. Everybody's gonna want to come to Dan's hub. I'm about to charge to let people in because it's going to be so badass. People will be like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'm going to have people working on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm just going to pay people to work on it every day, all day, so I can have the best motherfucking hub. Then I'm going to buy all the badass cameras I need, and I'm going to start having VR TV shows. Yeah. That sounds real nice. That sounds quite nice. PPT was so nice to me, guys. So nice to me. Like, there wasn't much money to be made during that debacle or whatever, but I got PPT at 0.8, 80 cents. And I haven't even logged into my accounts. Like, I haven't even I have all of my stuff off on my wallets, offline obviously, but I also have a lot on exchanges that I trade and all that stuff. And I've trusted Ether Delta more than I probably should, but honestly, with all the fees and all the bullshit and having to fucking every time you touch a button on Ether Delta, it costs you money. I just fucking leave. I just leave what on there, what I want to flip. And honestly, like I said, I have all these things for my lures, all this ammunition. But I haven't been using it just because I've been doing bigger things, and like I said, I don't want to. I've just been collecting. I don't want to sell. Why would I want to sell when I believe we're on the cusp of a boom? Like anything, I don't want to sell any coin. No coin at all. There's not one coin I would want to sell. That I bought, like, you know, I don't buy shit coins. I buy good coins. So all the coins I have, I don't want to sell. I think we're on the, you know, I'm so certain by this time Christmas, we're going to have 150 billion in market cap come this Christmas. That's what I believe. It can actually be higher too. And that's when I think you're going to see everything double what their peak was. So, yeah, I mean, these are the days I do daily videos, and sometimes it's kind of like, you know, if I'm not, you know, all up on my Bittrex accounts and all my accounts showing people setting lure action, that it can get a little bit stale. But I'm just keeping it real with you guys, right? I'm not going to force something for entertainment. It's just what it is. Like right now is a bad time to sell, in my opinion. I think you're kind of I think you have a bad strategy if you're selling anything right now. And that's just the truth. Right now is the best time to be diversified. Right now is the best time to get into ICOs because of the July month. Like my bid is just fucking going to be so perfect. With the fact that there's most likely going to be a large amount of coins destroyed. They might keep some for future. I like both ideas, whatever. The point is they're going to be doing both. There's going to be less than 5 million coins, so I'd put money on it, which is already insane. When you're talking about a coin, also, why is my bit meant to be expensive? Well, first of all, there's very few of them. And second of all, they're meant to be buy contracts with. So you're going to have denominational my bits, right? You're going to be able to say, hey, you know, maybe I want to participate and put in half of my bit on this, you know, and just diversify everywhere. That's the thing. Like I'm so diversified in my crypto sphere. Once my bit gets up and running really well, I'm going to be diversified with my bits like hell. I'm going to be in all kinds of fucking things, just getting passive income just rained on me. I have so many my bits. I have so many fucking my bits that it's going to be really easy for me to make a lot of passive income with when I have so much, because I can just invest in everything. And when the price of my bits skyrockets and you're talking about 500 or 50, 100, $200 a coin per my bit, that's when, you know, the dream of passive income is going to be a lot more expensive. You know, to get a lot of my bits at 200 a pop, you're not going to be able to get it like you were if you were getting them. Hell, we were getting them at we're getting them at 200 to 173, 173 to 1, you know, 173 my bits per ether, 200 at one point per ether, because I get the best motherfucking deals. And, you know, nobody can fuck with that. That's just fucking free my bits, in my opinion, for a coin that's meant to be very expensive. So when you're making your investments, just make sure you're not investing in a tip coin thinking you're going fucking as an investment. It doesn't make no goddamn sense. Use your motherfucking brain. Like it's like I'm gonna invest in Dogecoin. Like it doesn't make sense. It's not meant to be super expensive. These coins aren't meant to be super expensive, guys. Not when you have 110 billion. So just really think of, you know, Funfair is actually could be one of those bigger, could actually be worth more money to set up. You would think, oh, but Dan, it has 17 billion. That's right. But people are meant to build casinos on top of this platform. The only reason I didn't get into Funfair was because honestly, I mean, you know, I wanted to get into First Blood. I wanted to get into some Funfair. I wanted to get into some other things. But really, it's like I'm kind of hedging my bets for revolutionary coins, right? Bitcoin's revolutionary, Ethereum's revolutionary. You know, I got into EOS, I'm in everything. But everything that's revolutionary, like Vertesi and PPT, these coins that are meant to be very expensive. I like Sia Coin. Sia Coin isn't necessarily meant to be a super expensive coin. It was just super undervalued, right? So you have those type of coins too. And yeah, basically, your no limit coin, you would say, how is that revolutionary? It revolutionizes a $100 billion plus dollar industry. That's why it's meant to be expensive. Entertainment. So what do you have in life? After you get survival down, which is a big industry, right? Food, shelter, surviving. Then you want your comfort, right? That's a big industry, right? Next on the list is entertainment. They're all three intertwinable, right? Because once you're safe and comfy, now you're like, entertain me, bitches. That's what makes the world go round. Without entertainment, there'd be nothing, right? There would be no sales. There'd be nothing. There'd be no reason to buy anything if entertainment didn't exist. So entertainment is a very, 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 very important part of our lives. So never underestimate the aspect of entertainment, especially movies and all that. Somebody comments that I haven't mentioned Ping in a while. I was like, dude, I haven't mentioned so many coins in so while. Yeah, I use Ping all the time. I have Ping basically. I'm not even looking at it like the coins as an investment. I just use the bot. So I use it as my sub fees basically. You know, I already told people what I do with ICOs. Normally I'll sell enough depending on the ICO to get at least my money back, if not profit, and then I have a free thing. That's exactly what I do with Ping. I sold a good portion of my lot at what I think it was like 1.8 or whatever, 0.18 or whatever the fuck it was. It's like 40 cents or 50 cents or something. And then I kept some free for myself. And basically I was like, hey, I'm going to keep it for subscription fees, basically. And yeah, that's basically, you know, I've made a lot more money off of the Ping bot. Back when I used to use it a lot, I still use it because it brings up coins to my awareness. And sometimes if I'm feeling frisky and I see a good green light, you know, a big jump on one site, I'll check the other site and see what the coin's doing. And if there's a big price disparity, I'll jump on it. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people, you know, you'll see that in the trading room. Lots of people have profited off a Ping bot who've done it right. So yeah, I mean, I don't invest in a lot of coins because I'm investing like so much. Like I'm investing like 30. Like I don't invest, you know, I don't mention a lot of coins that I've invested in every day just because basically, I don't know. I forget. I've just a ton. I'm basically focused on, you know, I'm nest egged and I don't really keep talking about my nest eggs. I like to talk about what's coming, what's in front of me. I already got my nest egg there. I don't need to keep talking about it. I'm going to keep moving. And now if a new development happens, I'll talk about it. But if not, we're on to the next, right guys? We're always on to the next. All right, I'm going to kill it here. Cheers. Peace.